Okay, our next speaker needs no introduction because she has delivered very nice speeches. Let me tell you something. Her last speech was an impromptu speech, and she won. It was a speech that was one of the best speeches I've seen. So thank you, Beryl, for offering.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guys. Do you believe in ghosts? Do you?
Yes.
Do you? Do you? I do not only believe in ghosts, but I think that I have a connection with him. A couple of years I was in Beijing, and we left there and we went to Chongqing, up in the mountains where Chiang Kai-shek had his headquarters. And they had a whole lot of jewelry, years old, 600 years old. And my friend, one on the tour, brought a red jade bangle to me. And she said, "Beryl, do you like it?" I touched it, and I pushed it back to her. I said, "Take it away from me." And I ran out of the building, and for 10 minutes I was like that. And people were asking, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know, I just don't know." But all my life, my family has had relations, if you want to call it like that. I remember the first time we thought that something unusual was going on. I remember I was about 5 years old, and my father came into the house, and my mother said to him, we lived in an upstairs house where there was a loft that you could look down. And my mother was standing at the loft looking down, and she said, "My sister, who was downstairs with me, tell your father that his dinner is in the oven." And my sister ran upstairs and said, "What are you talking about?" Says, your father is downstairs, tell him." His father was there. And he says, he wasn't there. I told her, I said, "What? He wasn't there." Now, in Jamaica, we had Chinese lotto, just like you have lotto everywhere. And my mother decided to buy Chinese ghosts. She bought the figure, Chinese ghost, and she wanted several, which was a lot of money. And she said, "Go back and find him again, so I can win more money." But growing up, I remember I used to sleep with my brother. The door was there, and my brother's bed was here, and mine was like that. And right beside my bed, there were two chests that my father brought from China. And my brother would sleep in this bed, and I was on this bed. And he always said to me, someone is always sitting on top of the chest. And he thought that he was trying to frighten me. And one night it was raining, and I got up, the window was right there, and I got up to close the window, and I happened to look at the door, and there was this figure in white. So I ducked and my nightie, I pulled up my nightie, and I felt the footsteps coming across the bed, coming across the room, and the weight on my bed, and the weight eased up. And the next morning, my brother said someone was sitting on top of the bed, on top of the chest. So it's something I've had. My son at one time was thinking of entering the priesthood. And father took him to see an exorcism. But Gregory has always had this feeling he knew when someone that's not supposed to be there would be there. Because once I said, "Gregory, why do you keep your closet door light on? He says, because there's someone in the room, but she's a friendly person, but she won't hurt me, but I keep on the light. And then, after a while, he said to me, I said to him, you stopped keeping your light on. And he said, yes, because she has moved. She has moved to the garage door. But I realized my bedroom, you come through the garage door, my bedroom was there. And I realized every time I entered at night through my garage door, I had this feeling. And then I realized what was happening. There are many serious occasions, too innumerable. And people ask, what do you do when you feel the presence around? I say, I ask Father to come and bless the house. So there are ghosts, because if in the Bible, you see Christ was running out the devils out of the people, it's just like that. So, are you convinced or are you not convinced? It doesn't matter to me, because I know what I feel and I know what goes on around me, fellow Toastmasters.